Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are group 5 and today we are going to present about business culture in Switzerland. But before we present our material, we are going to introduce ourselves. My name is Muhammad Rizky and my friend is Muhammad Arizal Mulyandika, Muhammad Fani Andrean, Muhammad Salsabil, and Zaenal Arifin. The content of this material is first is the role in doing business, conversation etiquette and performance, gesture and mimic, outfit, and finally like and dislike manners. The first is the role in doing business. This will be presented by Zainal Arifin. Zainal, the time is yours.
Okay, the first one is general business, economic, and cultural climate. Economic. Switzerland is a democratic country with a liberal and free market economy. It has the world's 20th largest economy by nominal gross domestic product or GDP. Dominant industry. Significant industries include manufacturing, specialty chemicals, pharmaceuticals, medical device, high-tech and precision product, machinery and electronics, and service, financial service, insurance, tourism, and international organization. Population and language. The population of Switzerland amounts to approximately 8.6 million. Switzerland has four national languages: German, French, Italian, and Romance. Business culture. Switzerland business culture is formal and conservative. Punctuality, efficiency, and politeness are important. Business etiquette takes the form of greeting with a firm handshake and eye contact. The Swiss are direct and polite in communication. Asking personal question is uncommon. Business attire should be formal. Gifts are not common in business context. And the other, business hours are normally Monday to Friday from 8 to 18 past 13. The national average of work time is 14 past 5 hours per week. The accountants can set their public holidays independently, with the exception of 1 August, which is a federal holiday and the National Day of Switzerland at the same time. Additional holidays can vary from village to village and from employer to employer. The list of bank holidays for a specific area is the most reliable source of information. And the next, please. And the next is general legal system. Switzerland has a state-based civil law system. The lawmaking powers are reserved to the 26 cantons unless expressly delegated to the federal authorities or federal constitution. Major legislative powers are federal, including first, civil and commercial law; second, civil and criminal procedure; and last, important regulatory areas. such as financial institution and competition law. And the next will be presented by my friend. Time is yours. Muhammad Fani. Time is yours.
Okay. So the next is about conversation etiquette and performance. Next. Conversation etiquette. Number one is the formal greeting and communication. The usual form of greeting in Swiss business culture is a form of handshake with eye contact. Be sure to shake hands with everyone present when meeting people for the first time. Use last name and the formal like C, Fos, or Lel until specifically invited by your colleagues or business partners to use their first name, especially when there is a difference in rank or age. And then on the whole, the Swiss believe in plain speaking and plain directness before diplomacy. It is expected that and respected that people will speak their minds without feeling the need to uncomfortable to touch an uncomfortable message in a softer way in order to spare the feelings of the audience. And next is about people tend to be reticent to speak about personal issues to new contexts. Next. And the next is about performances. It is about meeting in Switzerland. First is formal meetings will be very highly structured, following an agenda or in a linear active way. And then punctuality is important and one should not be accused of stealing other people's time. And then as Swiss companies tends towards specialization and compartmentalization in the allocation of roles. And then people are expected to speak in detail and at length about those issues which relate to their own particular area of specialization, but are not so much expected to interject in areas which less directly relate to them. And then, although somewhat non-confrontational by nature, the Swiss still expect people to be prepared to debate and defend their own points of view in a robust and detailed manner. The next slide will be presented by my friend. So time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Fani. So, okay, let's move to the back first. Okay. Okay, let me tell you about the gesture and mimic. Gesture and mimic in the workplace convey a significant amount of information without an individual ever even opening their mouth. A worker react to other gestures as read in the workplace. Eye contact, facial expression, and touch affect our interaction. Some call it body language, others call it kinesics. Hundreds of thousands of body gestures communicate meaning to the others at work. So let me the next explanation. Uh, gesture and are movement of the head and other parts of the body, including lips, eyebrows, eyelashes, and nose that reflect different emotions. Gestures were created by different people at different times. People use sign and symbol which describe the place and thing they want to do explain. The various gestures that occur during the speech process have a semantic, interactive, judgmental function. On the other hand, believes that hand gestures come naturally involuntarily, claiming that even blind people use hand gestures when communicating. Okay. And the last explanation is gestures also have the function of transmitting information during speech. For example, if we use such a sentence and show the size of a hand gestures and say, we fished last week, then we can convey the size and information of the object we are referring to with a hand gesture. Sometimes we use this type of gesture without realizing it. So, okay, let's next go to the next slide. Okay, and then is mimic. Uh, Verbal mimicry research claim that repeating words spoken by another makes people more eager to comply with requests made by the mimicker. Uh, why do we do mimicry when we talk or we when the Switzerland people talk with the interactor? uh, they are mimic because it is in our individual or collective interest to do speaking back words spoken by the participant benefited the mimicker or those associated with them. So let me give some example. When the waiters either repeated everything the customer said to her or in the control condition. So this this is the like the sentence. Okay, or coming up, and then the next next example, like, could you please give me some advice about an MP3 player? So and the repeated people repeated the repeated interactor like site like advice about an MP3 player, just like the repetition from the 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 first person, the first POV. So therefore, mimicry is in a conversation is very important in order to clarify and convince the interlocutor. Okay, next slide. And then next slide will be presented by my friend, Miss Yor.
Okay, so the next slide is about outfit. This is the business outfit in Switzerland. The first is men's dress code. It is common for men to wear a sports jacket and trouser with a shirt and tie. However, in upper management, corporate finance, and private banks, dark suits are the rule. And next is women's dress code. It is common for women to wear smart casual clothes. Trousers for women are commonplace. However, for banks and the financial insurance industry, women wear either suits, which is jacket and skirt, or trouser suits. The next will be presented by my friend. Time is yours.
Okay,
Thank you, Kiki. So the next content or the last content is like and dislike manners. Next slide, please. So I will talk about like manner first. So the first like manners in Switzerland is to respect the traditional Swiss greeting with 3 kisses on the cheek through a handshake is a norm on a first meeting. Second, to dress conservatively and neatly, a suit and tie in business for men and a suit or dress for women. The third, to appreciate tolerance and be patient in Switzerland. Swiss are rather discreet, let them follow their own rhythm. The fourth, to keep both hands under the table during a meal, but keep elbows off the table. Eat everything off your plate and put your knife and fork side by side at the 525 position when you are done eating. The next, to use a fork to cut food such as salad and potatoes instead of knife, and break bread with your hand. But most other food should be eaten with utensils. And the last, to puncture for a dinner party, although 15 minutes late is acceptable. The next slide, please. For the dislike manners, first we have do not speak loudly in public, especially on a cell phone, nor make big noise or joke loudly. As a rule, Swiss do not like noise and dislike others making jokes about them. Second, do not address someone by their first name until invited to do so. Use surnames and title instead. Next, do not give expensive or extravagant gifts which can be viewed as tacky or bribery, nor give anything sharp, such as knives or squeezers, which signifies severing the friendship. Wine, high-quality chocolate, or flower are good gifts, but avoid white chrysanthemums and white lilies, which are for funerals. Next, do not drink until after the first dose given by the host. Do not ask for salt and pepper if it's not already on the table. Next, do not put your hands in your pocket while talking to people, nor chew gum or clean your nails in public. Next, do not ask personal questions such as salary, age, or religion. Swiss respect privacy highly. And the last is do not eat out, which can be very expensive, making lunch your main meal of the day, the same meal in the evening. So I think that's all from me. I'll give it back to Kiki. Thank you.
Okay, so that's all of the presentation today, and thank you for listening to our presentation. I hope every I hope this presentation will give you more knowledge about the business culture in Switzerland, and thank you so much for listening.